What's going on, guys? Zuco back with another Shadowlands video. This is for Season 4. So if you have sort of been missing what's going on with Season 4, the upcoming season in Shadowlands, it's happening next week, guys. Next Tuesday. I'm not even sure what day is it right now. So it's happening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? So this Tuesday it's going to be happening. I'm going to just give you a rundown of everything that's happening in Season 4. Blizzard has recently posted sort of an FAQ on what's going on in Season 4. So if you don't know about Shadowlands Season 4, if you're just focused on Dragonflight, that's perfectly fine. And obviously, I'm going to be excited for Dragonflight too. But in the meantime, we actually have an exciting upcoming season of Shadowlands to go. And Blizzard is really just pulling back, taking the reins off, and just kind of letting us run wild, I think. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's jump into it. First of all, there will be a new Mythic Plus dungeon pool, of course. If you don't know, there's going to be faded raids. I'll get to that in a second. The Mythic Plus dungeon pool is going to have both Tazaveshes. It's going to have both Mechagons, inside and outside Mechagon. It's going to have upper and lower Karazhan. And then it's going to have Grimrail Depot and the Iron Docks from Warlord. So they're giving you 8 dungeons, and they're going across all the different expansions. The raids are going to be faded, which is this new Affix that's coming. So every week it's going to change at the beginning of the next season. Season 4, it starts on August 2nd. Castle Nathria will be the first faded raid. What that means is the item level and the scaling of the raid goes up. So it's more difficult, but it gives you better rewards. So on normal difficulty, for example, you're going to get 278 item level. On Heroic, you get 291. On Mythic, you're getting 304, which is a big upgrade. So even doing it on normal is probably an upgrade for most people, unless you've been playing really, really hardcore for the last couple months. Okay? So the faded raids rotate every week. You're going to have Castle Nathria first, then Sanctum, then Sepulchre, week by week. So you do Castle Nathria, and then you have to wait 2 weeks, and then you can do Castle Nathria again, and then you wait 2 weeks, and you can do Castle Nathria again. My guess is with the short season and the release of Dragonflight coming in probably December, we're going to get to do each of these faded raids 4 times. Basically, it's four times, okay? To get to the Mythic Plus dungeons, there used to be portals up here, and I'm assuming that there will be. They must just be taken down right now because they're getting prepped for next week. But there are, right next to the Flight Master on the upper deck, so it's like right here, okay? This is where the portals are, and there's 3 of them. They'll take you to Mechagon or Karazhan or the WoD dungeons, okay? On top of that, there is a new vendor system for the raids, for the faded raids that I just talked about here. So you're going to go and do these faded raids. If you kill, they said it was 10 bosses each week, you would get a new currency, but they've lowered the threshold. We don't know exactly what that lowered threshold is. What we do know is that it's probably something like 7 bosses every week. If you kill, let's say 7 bosses every week in that faded raid. So in the first week, it'll be Nathria. You need to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get all the way to Council. That would be my guess. Then you get one of these new currencies called a Dinar. It's right here. So Puzzling Cartel Dinar. So it's a coin of remarkable design, blah, blah, blah. You can use them to purchase items from these vendors, and you can purchase them from any of the 3 vendors. It doesn't matter which faded raid you're doing each week. You're going to get the same Dinar currency, and you can take it to any one of these vendors. Again, they're right next to the vault, and you can buy whichever items you want. They have trinkets and weapons. Okay, so the first sigil is here. So you don't have to be doing the Sepulchre of the first one faded raid that week in order to buy the first sigil. You can do Castle Nathria, get 7 of those. I'm just guessing it's 7, by the way, but I think it's going to be 7. Get 7 bosses done, then you get 1 Dinar, and you can buy one of these items that you want. Now, what you can also do is you can upgrade these items with additional materials. We're not really sure what that means. What it says on the Blizzard post is that you need 20 of those materials to upgrade this item from normal quality, which would be 278, let's say. Let's say you get Cache of Acquired Treasures for 278. You buy that. Now, you realize that if you wanted to get a heroic version of that, it could drop off the boss, but you can also use these like materials to upgrade a normal item to heroic and a heroic item to mythic. You can actually do that. Now, I'll get to the Blizzard post on that in a minute, but just know that there are those vendors there for your raid stuff. So if you are having extraordinarily bad luck and you've run Sanctum twice now, let's say it's been like 4 weeks. It would have been 4 or 5 weeks, and you've run Sanctum twice and you haven't gotten like the dagger that you want, or you're trying to get the Sylvanas Windrunner Edge of Night and you haven't got it, you'll be able to buy that, okay? So some bad luck protection, which is really cool. Okay, so that is the Mythic Plus pool. That's the raid. Faded. Now, Faded also comes with an Affix. We've kind of been over this a little bit, but basically it's going to put a bunch of ads in the fight. And let me look at it right here. There's a whole post on it. There's like 4 different ads. There's a Chaos Guy and a Creation Spark and a Protoform Barrier and a Reconfiguration Emitter. And basically, you kill these mobs and they're going to give you like stacking buffs that give you like more damage, more healing, more tankiness, yada yada. And you're going to have to strategize with your team on how you want to approach this Faded raid Affix. But on every boss fight, when you're doing the Faded raid, it'll have these extra ads joining in. Oh, sorry, I got my cameras down. Of course, every time. So it'll have the extra ads in here, and they're going to create sort of a problem for you, and you're going to have to deal with it. So you have to figure out with your team what you want to do. So that's the Faded raid Affix. There's a new Mythic Plus Shrouded seasonal Affix as well. So along with all the different dungeons that you're going to be doing, there's a new Shrouded Affix. Basically what it does is it adds Dreadlords throughout the dungeon. They actually replace certain enemies. So they don't count for trash percentage. So basically you're going to lose like 10% of your trash percentage to these different Shrouded Dreadlords. When you kill a Dreadlord, they give you a stacking buff, right? You get to choose your buff at the beginning of the dungeon. You're going to have a lot of fun with this, guys, I promise. You can choose at the beginning of the dungeon, I want all of my Dreadlord stacks to be crit, okay? When you kill a Dreadlord, you get 2% crit. There's a mini Dreadlord boss that gives you 3 stacks, so you get 6% crit just for killing him. So you can get a lot of crit. You can easily get up to like 20, 26%, maybe 30% crit, depending on how many Dreadlords you kill and how many Dreadlords are in the dungeon. So I just want to make a note here. They did nerf the versatility one. It's only 1% versatility per stack. So you can only really get up to, like, realistically speaking, like maybe 10 to 15% versatility, which is fine. But the other ones are the same. 2% crit, 2% haste, and 69 mastery per stack. So there's actually some interesting, like, builds you can do here because these do not diminish over time. If you already have, like, 40% haste, let's say, because you're weird, I don't know. You have 40% haste on your Demon Hunter, your Havoc Demon Hunter, and you get 20% more haste from the dungeon, you will get 60% haste. It does not diminish at all. So that's a really cool thing. You can do some really wacky builds, I think, with the seasonal affix for Mythic Plus. And again, there's a new Mythic Plus dungeon pool. Okay, let's get to the post that Blizzard put out yesterday or today. I don't know when it was. It was like 5 hours ago. Okay. Let's jump on this, and let me read this for you. This is the final post that they're going to give us for what's coming up in Shadowlands. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. Let's go one more. Let's read this here. Hello, everybody. This will be the last major post regarding Season 4 patch notes. Season 4. The patch notes and the season itself will be upon us soon. Look forward to those. That said, it's clear there's been some lingering questions and concerns surrounding Season 4. We want to take the time to respond to some of the most common questions in a sort of lightning round. As a heads up, your personal question hasn't been answered yet, yada yada. Conduits. Conduit item levels are not increasing, meaning they stay at 278, which is great. In my opinion, that's fine. It means you don't have to farm them anymore. With 278 becoming the new normal item level for Faded raids, conduits on a Faded normal heroic mythic raids will drop at 278. So there's no more conduit upgrading, period. Okay? Conduits aren't being added to the non-Shadowland dungeon loot pools, but Tazavesh conduits will be similarly updated. So they're just saying there that you could go back and actually do the basically Season 4 has a new dungeon pool, right? You can go back and do the Shadowlands dungeons that are not in that dungeon pool, but they're not going to upgrade. They're not going to update the conduits for that. The Vessel of Profound Possibilities, which is an item available from your Covenant vendors in Season 3. That upgraded all of your conduits to 278, is changing. It no longer requires Season 3 endgame achievements, which was like very high-rated stuff that you had to get, but it is instead purchasable by all characters for Cosmic Flux. This is a massive quality of life for alts. So your alt characters now, you go farm, I don't know what it's going to be, 2,000 or 3,000 Cosmic Flux maybe. That's just a guess. And you can go buy the Vessel of Profound Possibilities, which upgrades all your conduits to 278. Boom, you're done. So, and again, you can also trade Cosmic Flux between your alts now. So, really, really good quality of life there for alt characters. Legendaries, this is really important here. Crafted Shadowlands Legendaries will not increase in rank, staying at max of rank 7 with item level 291 for the season. So, basically, over the course of the season, your legendaries are going to become your lowest item level items, probably. Right now, they're your highest item level items. But if if we look at this again really quickly, then you can see that you're going to have, let's say you start off with normal, and then you get all your items upgraded to 278. Then you go to heroic, and you're doing 291. As soon as you get to heroic rating, it's 291. I'm not sure what that's going to translate into in terms of on the dungeon side of things, because we can't see what it's going to look like here, but you'll be able to upgrade. Oh, it starts right here, so you can see this actually. 262, we're going to go up by 3. So it would go 265, 268, 291, 271. I'm crazy, holy cow. 271, 274, 277, 280. We can do 11 upgrades. We've done 6. 283, 286, 289, 291. And then it looks like you could do one more. Maybe you can only do 291. You could maybe do 293. Or 294, I'm sorry. I think you could do 294. But maybe not. It's either 291 or 294. I tried to do math on stream. That's a mistake. So these here, your Mythic Plus gear can get upgraded all the way up to 291 at least, which is going to be the same item level as your legendaries. If you want to go further beyond that, you're going to have to do the Faded Raids, which are going to drop 291 on heroic, and then Mythic is going to drop the 304. So very likely, actually, now that I think about this, your legendaries are not really going to become like obsolete quickly, like at all. If you only do Mythic Plus, then the highest you can get is level 291 or like 294, whatever my math was there, which means your Shadowlands Legendary is going to be perfectly fine. It's not going to be like really, really bad. So that's actually better than I thought it was. But if you do rating, you have the chance to go even above and beyond that to get to like 304, but only if you're doing Mythic rating, which is pretty hard. So there are no new crafted marks. Yeah, there's no ability to craft legendaries. Currencies. Cosmic Flux will remain in Season 3 and won't disappear. A reminder that since our last post, there is now an item to transfer Cosmic Flux to other characters. Sandworm Relics will be moving to a bind on account status, which is great. It's really, really late. It's way too late for that, but very cool. Now you can send Sandworm Relics to your alts. Unused attendance tokens of merit from Season 3 Great Vaults will be going away, converting into gold. Ephemera Infused Mesh in Season 3, which is the socket granting item, will cease to function. You can sell it for 6,000 gold, which is the equivalent of 6 tokens of merit, okay? Tokens of merit are returning in Season 4 with a new socketer item priced at only 3 tokens to account for the shorter season length. This item works on Season 4 items from Raid PvP and Mythic Plus, just as the old one did. So they're letting you put sockets and stuff in again, but it's going to be a new currency. The old one you're going to have to turn into money, turn into gold. Okay? Mythic Plus Keystone Decay between seasons is 3 item levels, as it's always been. For example, if your highest time key this week, right now, guys, right now, if your highest time key is a plus 18, you'll receive a 15 in Season 4. With few exceptions, old dungeon items are going to retain their original stats when scaling up to Season 4. This means like WoD dungeons and stuff. This means primary stats on rings from Warlords of Draenor, trinkets with no primary stats, the Mechagon rings that have unique properties and other unique items from these dungeons will all be enabled, which is very cool. Our intent is for this season to keep as many things from these dungeons as they were where possible. Azerite armor has obviously been removed. As you may know, Warlords of Draenor had a different loot system where over 100 items were shared between all dungeons. For Season 4, Grimrail Depot and Iron Dock loot table will compromise the items unique to those dungeons, as well as a mix of items chosen from that large shared pool to bring it in line with other dungeons. So this is pretty cool. You can see here, let's look at the WoD loot pool really quickly. Okay, so we've got, let's go to WoD, let's go to dungeons. Grimrail Depot. Oh, my game's going to die. Holy moly, that was crazy. So there you can see here, there are going to be items, particularly they're talking like trinkets. All classes. Other, right? Is it other? Maybe they don't have any in here. Let me look really quickly, guys. My apologies. Trinkets are here. So this trinket does have main stat. They're going to have... rings have main stat. There you go. Here it is here. So intellect, stamina, versatility, mastery. We don't have that right now. Our rings do not have main stat. So very interesting stuff. You're going to be able to get cool rings there. And they're going to have main stat, which is actually kind of insane. That's actually a huge boost. Your rings are going to be one of the biggest things you're going to want to go get. Mechagon also had unique items that had pretty cool effects. There was like a weapon that this one here, your melee attacks burn enemies. These are absolute weapons I'm going to be seeking out on my Outlaw Rogue and probably on my this one here, on my Shaman, Enhancement Shaman. So that's going to be there. There's a ring for a mage, which is interesting, but I'm not going to look at that right now. But there's also the special rings that have the different, like this thing. If you use 3 different spells or abilities on the same target, then you absorb the next 409 magic damage. There were Mechagon rings that had bonus effects. You could get a pair of Mechagon rings that will give you a bonus effect. So those are going to scale as well. And the trinkets are here, of course. So very, very cool stuff. I haven't even looked at the Karazhan loot. I'm not sure what they're doing with that, but we're going to have to see. Oop, that's Eye of Ashara. There's like a million cool things in the Karazhan loot. Like, if we just look at trinkets, there's some wacky trinkets in here that we're going to be able to go get. So very, very cool stuff. I'm excited, and you guys should be too. It's going to be, honestly, a fantastic experience. Let's just read the rest of this post here. Mythic end-of-run items won't be capped week 1 like in previous seasons. Very good. Non-Tazavesh Shadowlands dungeons are gaining an increase in baseline item level, but these items are not upgradable with Valor. So they're saying, like, because the new seasonal stuff's going to have, like, the Tazavesh stuff and then no other Shadowlands dungeons. So if you're going to do a Plaguefall, they're going to up, I guess, the item level of doing, like, a Mythic 0 Plaguefall. But beyond that, you can't do anything with Plaguefall. Mythic rating is available on launch day with no delay. Cross-realm rating will stay on. There's no Hall of Fame. Raid skips earned in previous seasons will work, which is very cool. Castle Nathrian Sanctum of Domination will now give you 2,000 reputation of the Court of Harvesters and Death Advance. When these raids are faded, they will also drop 2,000 Cosmic Flux as well. Items received from faded raids will maintain their faded tag when transformed into a class set armor by the Creation Catalyst, meaning they will also be upgradable via heroic and mythic upgrade currency mentioned in the original post. So this is very, very good. This means that you can use the Creation Catalyst with your Cosmic Flux to continue to upgrade your tier set bonuses. So like right now, my tier set bonuses are at like 272. And they could be at 278, but they're 272. As soon as I step into the next season, I can start getting like 285, 291 item level gear, and I can upgrade it with the Creation Catalyst with Cosmic Flux. So very good. They're just carrying on that system from where it is right now, which is very, very cool. Last section here about raid rewards. Very important. As a legendary weapon, Raise Shalair, the Death's Whisper, will not be available to purchase on the Broken with Dinar. So that's a legendary item. That's why you can't buy it. Epic items you can buy. For players who already have the bow, the item will be purchasable that can bring it up to 285. Sylvanas herself will drop the bow on faded weeks. And they're increasing the item level for both the bow and the Edge of Night dagger that dropped from Sylvanas. They'll have increased drop rates, which is very cool. The Edge of Night dagger you can buy, though, from the vendor, just so you know. We're making a series of balance changes to trinkets and special weapons obtainable from all 3 Shadowlands raids, with some from the Shadowlands dungeons as well. While we won't go over the specific changes, the patch notes will be out soon. We're making these changes for a few reasons. First, we hope to remove an advantage that some players might have from obtaining a 278 version of the Shadowlands trinket from Season 3 Great Vault, considering that Shadowlands Dungeons trinkets will be attainable at max of 262 eye level for anyone who started after. So I don't really, that's kind of dumb, actually. Like, if I've played the game longer, why are you, like, making a change? Why are you removing an advantage that I had? I earned that advantage. I don't really understand what they're saying there. But second, with raids rotating, we want to ensure that a higher amount of items looted from the raid on a given week might have a chance of to be satisfying upgrades for players. You could imagine a scenario where Castle Nathria, for example, might not be worth if all the good trinkets come from a different raid and you won't be able to access it for 1 to 2 weeks. So, additionally, Season 4 is an opportunity for us to look around with these items, take a look at these items with a full season of hindsight, and thus be able to improve the ones that we felt were close power level wise but not quite enough. So they're just saying, like, they've been able to look at these trinkets and how much they get used already, and they can bump up the power level of the ones that aren't being used that much, which is fine. Lastly, given the limited Dinar currency, we've seen a lot of fear from players that they'd be afraid to spend them only to have an item nerfed or another item made better. We're front-loading these changes at the start of the season and intending to stay as hands-off as possible, so decisions made about which item you might buy can be removed from the fear of those items' numbers changing dramatically. So they're basically saying, like, we're making the changes right now, and then we're done, and we're just going to wait till Dragonflight, and you can have fun with it. That's what I'm reading from this. Obviously, and that could change, but I am fully convinced that Blizzard's not going to mess around with any of these items because it doesn't matter. There's no Hall of Fame. There's no, like, achievements that you're looking for. You're not getting Race to World First stuff. You're not getting AOTC. It's just for fun. So I really do believe that they're not going to mess around with the items as well. So that's it, guys. That is what's changing in Season 4. There are some, again, there was some notes here about how many bosses you have to clear each week. We're honestly just going to have to wait and see next week because I think they've changed it from 10 to probably 7, but I don't know for sure. But that's all the changes, guys. Just so you know, if you didn't know about Season 4 coming up next week, it's actually going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a new Mythic Plus pool. Okay, it's going to have items from those old dungeons that will all be lootable as they were. You can get main stat on rings, for example, which is very, very cool. Extra effects from, like, Mechagon rings are going to be active. There's mage bracers that are going to be active. A lot of really cool stuff going on in the Mythic Plus pool. There's a new Shrouded Affix for Mythic Plus, which lets you bump up a secondary stat to the moon, and you get to pick which one you want to do each one. So that's a really cool mechanic. You guys are going to enjoy it. I've done a dungeon already on the PTR. If you want to go check it out, go check out my channel and check out the Mythic Plus in Season 4 that we did. On top of that, there's going to be faded raids coming, so we're going to get to go back and do Castle Nathria and then Sanctum and then Sepulchre of the first ones, and they're all going to have a new faded raid Affix, which adds a bunch of mobs that do various things. You're going to have to just see it once you get in there, and they give you massive buffs when you kill them. So it's a way to help you beat the boss. There's going to be higher item level dropping out of those raids, which is really, really great. Our legendaries are not going to need to be grinded anymore. We're all done grinding legendaries, and they're going to stay at item level 291. If you upgrade all of the Mythic Plus gear that you're getting from Season 4, you will also bring all your items up to basically 291 or 294, whatever my math was on that. So your legendary items do not become obsolete. They're actually just going to be par for the course once you bring all your other items up to the level. Unless you're doing raid, Mythic Raid in particular. That's the only way to get higher than item level 291 in Season 4. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited for Season 4? I am. I'm very, very excited. You can continue to upgrade your items with your Creation Catalyst. You still get your tier set bonuses. You still get your legendaries. It's going to be so much fun. I honestly can't wait to get in there and do it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the future of what I'm doing here on this channel, Patreon is the best way to do it, guys. There's a link down below. There's multiple tiers, and I would really appreciate the support. Until the next one, guys, I love you. I'll see you later.